Hello everybody, this is my second review of my Halloween special of 2010 reviews. And my second game is going to be Smackdown vs. Raw 2011 on the Nintendo Wii. What I could say from this game is, it is an improvement over 2010 on the Wii, but it's not a major improvement. It is missing a few things from the PS3 and 360 versions, like the physics system and the obvious, create a Titantron, highlight reel, stuff like that, online and whatnot. But besides all that, which in reality, those are only extra features. The main bulk of the game, the main features in the game are all there on the Wii. The gameplay, basically, the control style and moveset and gameplay changes are changed up a little bit from 2010's game, but not by much. Not by much. It's like the button layout's a little bit different, different ways of different buttons to press to pick up your opponent and do grapples, and the grapple system's a little bit different in this game, where you have grapples that are specific for when the match starts and when your opponent's weakened or so and everything, but it's pretty much nearly identical to the 2010 game, sort of. And the gameplay modes, it's an they brought out new Road to WrestleMania modes, and they brought in WWE Universe. They still create a wrestler, and basically that's all the main parts are still in the game. The graphics presentation of the game, pretty much just, I think, a slight improvement over the Wii version of 2010. Not by much, but I think a little bit. They didn't go all out on this thing, and you can tell that it just seems like THQ and Yuke's are just lazy with this, because if they really tried to, the graphics could be a whole lot better on the Wii version of Smackdown vs. Raw series. They just don't really try. And I don't blame the Wii for that, I just blame THQ and Yuke. I marked them down for it, not the game, really. But the graphics are still pretty good. If you're not no graphics whore or anything, and you thought the graphic style in 2010 was fine for the Wii, it's a little bit of improvement. The characters still look good. There's still quite a bit of characters in there that look pretty good. Some of them, which I think actually look better than the PS3 360 versions, and obviously there's some PS3 360 characters that look better on those versions. But it seems like best. It seems like when it comes to Smackdown vs. Raw series, some things look better on the Wii version / PS2 version or so, and some look better on the PS3 360 or so. It's certain characters or whatever. But the graphics side of the presentation, it's still presented well. The crowd's still 2D-ish. The arenas and everything just seems like 2010 for the most part. But I think they're built up a little bit. I don't know about there. The sound, the commentating's pretty good. They do repeat a lot of the same lines though, and in this game it's only Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler. They don't have, they're the announce team for every single show. They don't do no match strike or anything this year, so if you don't like Michael Cole or Jerry the King Lawler, you'll probably get sick and tired of the commentary. But the commentary is pretty good. It's okay, but it repeats a lot. And they do announce stuff that doesn't happen. Like if you do a chair shot, they say about a move or something. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's sometimes, but it doesn't happen all the time though. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens random times though. The voice acting in the Road to WrestleMania modes are pretty good. I mean, and most of the wrestlers did a pretty good job for their voice acting in there. And the music, of course, the music's pretty good. The wrestlers' music, you get, they're all well done normally, they sound on TV. And there's no normal music for main menus this year. The main menu music is only the wrestler themes as well. The story, first, I'll do Road to WrestleMania first. There's 5 new modes you can go to. You can do Verse Undertaker, where you can play as Kofi, John Morrison, I think MVP was, no, I don't think MVP, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler, and your created wrestler. And you go through a story trying to face off against the Undertaker to beat a streak at WrestleMania. I was able to make it to that as Dolph Ziggler, and it is hard to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. It really seriously is. I got him beat down a little bit, but he always comes back and reverses a lot of stuff. So there's some challenge there. Then I didn't really get to try out much of the other. I barely played a little bit of Christians. There's a Christian Road to WrestleMania. There's a Chris Jericho, a John Cena, and a, who's the other guy now? Rey Mysterio? I think Rey Mysterio. Yeah, Rey Mysterio. And that's the road to WrestleMania. They all, and unlike previous years, in this road to WrestleMania, you get to walk around backstage and talk to wrestlers and get them to fights. You could actually walk up to a wrestler and talk to them, and if you want to, you could push them. And if you push them enough times, you get into a little backstage brawl, which, if you win, you get experience points. And the whole thing now in road to WrestleMania is as you beat matches and as you fight people backstage, whatever, you get experience. Which you go back to like the doctor and like in the hospital part or whatever they call it, the doctor part of the backstage. You can go talk to him, and you can put up your skills, and that helps you like do better with grapples or punching or damage resistance and whatnot. And the whole backstage area, you can walk to the Diva little dress-up center. You can go walk to your match. You can go see the GM. You can talk to random wrestlers backstage, and there's various rooms in the locker rooms, or whatever. You can go back, and then throughout the road to WrestleMania, there's certain challenges you have to do to unlock certain wrestlers as well. And that's about road to WrestleMania. And then WWE Universe mode, which I'm going to toss into the whole story mode thing, is pretty much where you almost, in a way, you create your own stories. It's like GM mode in a sense, but without hiring the wrestlers and the ratings and pretty much most of the stuff that made GM mode. You play as you put the shows together, and you keep putting them together. You make people allies or enemies of each other, and you go and determine the rankings for the belts and who's the #1 contender. You're not allowed to put championship matches on the Raw, Superstars, or Smackdown shows, and you're not even allowed to technically make your own title matches unless you use a certain glitch, which you have to like use one of the unlockable belts and then make sure it's on the wrestler with the championship, and then you go and defend that belt, but then you can move over to the World Championship, WWE Championship, the Tag Team Championships, the Women's title, the Divas title, and everything. Actually, I don't think you can do it with the women then. That's not good. But you can do it with them, and then you can defend it. But that's just the whole way of going around and trying to fix something that really shouldn't have been there, though. But besides, and depending on the rivalries and everything that's going on, you see specific cutscenes during the match, like interferences and whatnot. And Universe Mode's kind of used for unlocking certain wrestlers, because you have to play certain matches that they give you and win the matches. And after a while, Vince comes out and announces a second match is going to happen, and then you face certain wrestlers you have to beat to unlock and whatnot. And that's also how you unlock like arenas as well. At least some of them you have to play matches at the pay-per-view. And then that's about that. And then the third mode that would fit into story is storyline designer, or it's called storyline maker. So, which pretty much is the exact same, pretty much from the 2010 game, except there's added cutscenes and the ability to make your own branching storylines. That's about it. In the multiplayer, it's pretty much the same as pretty much any previous Smackdown game. You can play exhibition matches together, you can play matches in Universe mode together, and it's just normally how you play against like your friends or so in the match, and it's just wrestling together. And how it's been in the Smackdown series, or even like the WrestleMania Day of Reckoning Raw series too, like you just wrestle against each other, and it's just the whole fact that it's a wrestling game and you can play with other people. It's a pretty good multiplayer game actually. So in the end, they give the gameplay an 8.5 out of 10, the graphics, the presentation of the game an 8 out of 10, sound of the game an 8.5 out of 10, the story of the game a 9 out of 10, and the multiplayer game a 9 out of 10. So in the end, I give Smackdown vs. Raw 2011 on Nintendo Wii an 8.6 out of 10. And if you're a fan of the WWE games, I recommend you play it. If you're somewhat of a fan, maybe you could rent it and you'll enjoy it. But anyways, it's an improvement over the last couple of games. It is a little bit glitchy, but if you can make it past that, it's a pretty good game, and it'll be a good rental or buy. I'm SnipingIsFun. Hope you like this review. My next review is going to be on Rockman 3 on the Nintendo Wii. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. See you guys later. Peace, and have a good day.